Provoe.
Welcome back to the Provian Roadmap, an introduction to self-mastery. We're on day 2, week 2. Yesterday we explored the concept of self-discovery. Today we'll take a deeper dive into one of the most important aspects of personal growth, your core values. By identifying and prioritizing your values, you'll uncover a roadmap for living a more authentic and purposeful life. Let's get started. What are core values? Core values are the principles that guide your decisions and behavior. For every Provian, for you to be a member of the Provoe Planet ecosystem means you're subscribing to our core values, which is promoting reintroduction of virtues on earth. What are virtues? Those guiding principles like integrity, harmony, discipline, focus, love, patience, the intricate essence of the human nature that makes us different from beasts of burden. Those elements that make us higher beings. When you propagate and push that out, when you use yourself as the living epistle to model that, to be an example of that to the world, you are being a Provian. And those are our core values. So core values are the principles that guide your decisions and behavior. Okay?
Provoe.
Core values are the principles and beliefs that guide your decisions and actions. They are what matter most to you at the very core. These values act like a compass, helping you to navigate life's challenges and align your actions with your authentic self. Why core values matter? When your actions align with your values, you feel fulfilled and at peace. You don't feel very bad when you find yourself not following the masses, behaving like a sheep, being programmed to act a certain way or feel a certain way according to how the masses are being wired or programmed by the matrix, if you know what I mean. When you have your core values aligned and you're taking action on them and you're proactive, you're not passive about them, you find yourself flowing through life. Other definitions of core values are the foundation of your identity. Your core value helps you know who you are to the tune of not being easily influenced or motivated by extrinsic or external factors. You knowing who you are based on aligning your core values with your actions, your thoughts, and your words make you self-dependent. Another definition, they define what you stand for and what you won't compromise. Without your core values, any movement, any wave, any new thought can come tilt the balance of the scale of things or your scale of preference in your life. All of a sudden, you're pro this, you're pro that. Whatever sounds to gain momentum, the trends of the day are capable of swaying your opinions, and you join the masses in echoing a particular point. Having your own core values help you fine-tune who you are being. It helps you stay grounded. So you find it possible defining what it is you actually stand for and your non-negotiables. Another definition, living in alignment with your values foster authenticity and fulfillment. It is your values that make you know when you're being real to yourself, and by extension, real to the people in your life, and by extension, real to the world, the entire world. If you don't have what it is you hold dear to yourself, like integrity, if you're not an integral being who has a word, keeps to the word, your word is law, you can take your word to the bank and cash it out. Someone can say, oh, he gave me his word, and he will stand by it because he's someone who values integrity. If you don't have that, that's just one of the core values or virtues. Then, how authentic can you be? You are, subject to the whims and caprices of life. And whatever happens in any day of your life can change who you are being. Today you are this way, tomorrow you could be that way, because there is no core guiding principle determining the ways you're going to be on every single day, irrespective of external circumstances. Core values can vary from person to person. For some, family is the most important value, while for others, creativity or integrity might take precedence. Health, growth, compassion, and adventure are also common examples. Think about what resonates most with you and how these values have influenced your life so far. When you think about the kind of values you have held, you realize why it is important to fine-tune them, reflect on them, upgrade them, update them, investigate them. Find out how you adopted those values. Find out at what point in your life those values came into being. What initiated them? How did you get engrafted, scripted into owning those values? Are they yours? Are they handed down? Are they passed through propaganda? Are they drummed into your psyche through shame, through fear? What are your core values? Why are values important? Living in alignment with your core values fosters authenticity and reduces stress. Stress most times comes from we feeling we lack control of our circumstance. Our circumstances beat us black and blue because we rarely stand for any particular thing, notion, idea. We are not our own. We are owned most times. So stress pushes you off balance and makes you feel like you are nothing. And you want to address this by cultivating core values.
Provoe.
When in alignment with your core values, you experience a sense of authenticity and purpose. On the other hand, when your actions don't align with your values, it often leads to stress, dissatisfaction, and burnout. Identifying your values helps you make decisions that feel right for you and create a life that reflects your true self. Examples of core values: integrity, family, creativity, adventure, health, love, etc. These core values could be whatever you can't live without, whatever you have come to see as a prerequisite for a good life. So, how to identify your core values? Reflect on what brings you joy, what frustrates you, and who inspires you. Those people who inspire you, what do they embody? When you think on these things, you would see where your core values lie. The process of prioritizing core values. Rank your core values and choose the most important to you. Let's get hands-on. In your workbook, write down a list of 10 values that are important to you. Once you have your list, rank them in order of importance. This activity will help you gain clarity about which values matter the most and how they influence your choices. So, exercise. Identify and rank your core values. Reflect on a recent decision and did the decision align with your top values? For today's exercise, think about a decision you've made recently. It could be big or small. Did that decision align with your top ranked values? And if it did, how did it feel? If it didn't, what could you have done differently? Write down your reflections in your workbook. And the reflection question is, how do your current actions reflect your core values? Reflect on these. You know when you're on point, you know when you're off point, you know when your actions are offbeat. I want you to take this exercise seriously because these are not things we talk about. It's not normal conversations. It's left to chance. And in Provo Planet, Provians don't do that. We're intentional about everything, down to our core beliefs, our core values. We are aware, self-aware, and the goal is to train that self-awareness to make it improve over time. So let's recap. Understanding your core values. Key takeaway. Core values are the guiding principles that shape your decisions and actions. Living in alignment with your values foster authenticity and purpose. Understanding your core values helps you make decisions that reflect your true self. Okay? Aligning actions with your values leads to fulfillment and peace. Identifying core values involves introspection and reflection. Prioritizing values helps focus on what truly matters. Living in alignment requires consistent self-awareness and intentional action, like I just said. You need to know what makes you tick. Identify your core values, reflect on what brings you joy, frustrates you, and inspires you. Prioritize your values. Rank your values in order of importance. Align your actions. Access the deepest core of your motivations. Assess how your current actions align with your values. Make adjustments. Take steps to bring your actions into alignment with your values. It's not enough to know what your core values are. You have to take steps to make sure you're living in alignment. And remember, understanding and living by your core values is a lifelong journey. You don't just snap your finger and all of a sudden you're congruent and everything is integrated, okay? Embrace the process and enjoy the rewards of authenticity and fulfillment. In closing, thank you for joining us. See you tomorrow for Overcoming Limiting Beliefs. Thank you for joining today's lesson on exploring core values. Tomorrow we'll tackle the topic of limiting beliefs, these negative assumptions that hold us back. Those negative assumptions have a root cause and we'll try to dig to that root cause and then we'll learn strategies to overcome them. Can't wait to dive in. See you then.